K-culture saw its reputation growing remarkably this year as well in the global arena, moving from K-pop to K-food to essentially all things Korean. And we have more on this global phenomenon in this edition of Issues and Insiders. Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Issues and Insiders. I'm Min Sunhee. The recent popularity of frozen kimbap over in the US has shed fresh light on K-food, which is the latest cultural craze moving from Korea to the world, if I may. And so for more on this broader phenomenon of all things Korean, I have Chef Kim Hansong live on the line. Hansong, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Hi there. Very nice to meet you.
Right. I also have Kwon Soa with us. So welcome back.
Happy to be here, Sunny.
Right. So let's begin then with a few words about the hype over Korean culture in recent times.
Well, where to begin? K-culture spans from K-dramas to K-music to K-pop or K-music, I should say. Did I mention K-movies? So I meant K-movies and K-music because it's not only about K-pop anymore. And K-food, K-literature, K-games, products like K-cosmetics, and the list goes on. The proliferation of Korean culture internationally, a phenomenon referred to as Hallyu, has swept across the world the last 2 decades. Now, key hits in the most recent decade were Psy's 2012 Gangnam Style, 2019 movie Parasite, 2021 Netflix series Squid Game, and of course, biggest global K-pop group BTS. One of the next K sectors that's showing potential of growing bigger is the Korean language, as it is being naturally more and more exposed due to Korean contents consumed worldwide. According to the Modern Language Association, the number of students taking Korean classes at higher education institutions in the US, for instance, spiked from some 5,200 in 2002 to almost 14,000 in 2016. In the UK, higher education students enrolled in Korean courses tripled from 2012 to 2018, while actually the number of students who are taking Chinese courses or other European languages even declined. Now, fascinated by K-culture, the number of people coming to the country is also on the rise, be it for holiday travels or longer stays. Already in 2017, BTS alone was the reason for 7% of tourists who chose to visit Korea. Foreign students who eventually have a goal of working in Korea and living in Korea are also attracted by travel packages that include tours to Korean universities. So that's a combination of tourism plus education.
Right, I understand K-food is also the reason for quite a number of foodies traveling to this part of the world. Could you tell us a bit more about the popularity of K-food this year, Soa?
Sure. Myself being a foodie, a K-foodie as well, I have to say. The K-wave took off with things you could watch and listen to, like K-dramas and later K-pop, but Korean food was not really globally well known before people got interested in what their K-stars eat, be it in dramas that actually evolve around Korean food, or be it on entertainment shows where idol groups are seen indulging in Korean street food. So now, decades into the Hallyu wave, there are quite a number of achievements that prove the growing popularity of K-food, and it's not just about bulgogi and bibimbap anymore. I want to start with Korea's staple side dish kimchi, which reached various milestones this year. The number of countries importing Korean kimchi has reached an all-time high of 93 as of October, and more countries or cities are now observing Kimchi Day in the US, Europe, even South America on November 22nd, which has been a legal anniversary in Korea since 2020. According to Korea's food ministry, Korean agricultural and food exports hit a record high in the first 11 months of 2023. That includes an almost 26% on-year hike in instant noodle and close to 10% rise in kimchi exports. Apart from ramyeon, that's been especially flying off the shelves during the COVID-19 pandemic, frozen kimbap and mandu has gained a lot of popularity in the US this year, and they're not not anymore called dumplings, but actually many of these products now say mandu, the Korean word. Now, while room for Korean food products and overseas supermarket shelves is getting bigger, K-dining is trending as well. A fusion Korean restaurant in San Francisco, Hansong, had its mulhae noodles listed as one of the 23 best American dishes of 2023 by the New York Times. Mulhae roughly translates into water plus raw fish, and it's a spicy, cool dish comprised of slices of raw fish, radish, and cucumbers. K-food is also receiving growing acknowledgement by the prestigious Michelin Guide. As of 2023, 28 Korean restaurants overseas have received Michelin stars, and there were none that received that rating in 2010. The presence of interest in Korean food is also evident in the amount of research done online. According to Google's Search of the Year, the recipe with the highest increase in search volume on the top search engine in 2023 compared to last year was bibimbap. And I think bibimbap doesn't even need an explanation anymore, but it is, rice mixed with vegetables, marinated meat, and hot pepper paste.
Which is very good, if I may say so myself. Now, Hansong, speaking as a chef based there in the US, how do you explain the growing popularity of Korean food there?
The reason for the increasing interest and the demand in the Korean food in the United States can be attributed to two regions. First thing is cultural interest growth. Korean culture has been increasingly exposed in the United States with the popularity of K-pop and K-drama, and Korean celebrities contributing to a heightened interest in Korea. The cultural element often go hand in hand with the Korean cuisine. The second is healthy. Korean food is well known for being healthy. Even among the Americans who are interested in the healthy, they try to find the healthy of the Korean food. In the particulars, they are very interested in the fermented food like kimchi and then soybean paste, doenjang, gochujang, ganjang.
Right, I see. And Hansong, on a more personal level, could you tell us a bit about your personal venture into the US to promote Korean food? I mean, why the US and what makes your dishes different?
I'm trying to use the Korean localized food from directly in Korea, because for the more good Korean flavor, Korean cuisine in the American state, we should use the Korean localized the items directly from the Korean farmers. That can be supports the Korean ingredient freshness and then quality of the ingredient.
And why the US, Hansong? Why not any other country but that? Because here back in Korea, you were actually quite well established as a chef here, but you decided to leave it all behind and head to the US. Why?
If we make the success in the United States, they can be make the regulation in the all around the world. That's a very big different things.
Right, I see. Hansong, like you were saying, you place much emphasis on the ingredients used in your Korean dishes, as well as I understand on the art of enjoying the dish. Do you care to explain this, please?
Just like saying the history repeat itself, I think the food repeat itself. It is important to study ingredients if you want to know about the food. This is because accurate knowledge of the food ingredient and food cultures eventually leads to food. Many people are interested in the Korean sauce, but I want to introduce various Korean herb culture. I say the 산나물. The herb from the many mountains in Korea have unique taste and flavors, and even healthy. I want to introduce more of the Korean food cultures that only Korean has.
Right, I see. And along with this interest in hanshik, which is Korean food, as you were talking about, interest in Hangul Soa has been growing. And quite a number of Korean words, I understand, are now universally understood. prompting calls for the need to ensure a productive development of Hangul on the global stage. Could you tell us a bit more?
Sure. Before I get into the detailed Korean words, I want to start with mentioning a personal experience that I had recently during a trip to Canada. Now, I went to a sandwich franchise, and one of my producers of my filming crew realized that the employee there making the sandwiches had a tattoo on her arm that said, "I want to go to Korea. 난 한국 가고 싶어." So you should see the photo that I took here with a really cute font, which also kind of looks very Korean with a little heart. And that was really a pleasant shock to me that not only seemed to show how popular the Korean wave has become, but also it was really interesting to see the language getting that attention. And Sunny, you know that I'm from Germany. And when I was in Germany, I saw many people having Chinese letters tattooed. And because the letters itself, it was perceived as cool. And now seeing Korean letters on an arm of a foreigner abroad really does seem to see the changes in a trend. Just like the employee at the sandwich place, fans of K-culture are increasingly getting familiar with the Korean language and words that appear all the time on Korean dramas or in K-pop songs. From simple greetings like 안녕 to oppa, what a woman or girl's older brother or just an older male counterpart is being called, to slang words like 대박 or 헐 that can be expressions of excitement or surprise. Korean letters also made it onto uniforms abroad. Paris Saint-Germain players wore uniforms with their names in Korean in a match earlier this month on the back of Lee Gang-in's popularity and the rising number of Korean fans that come watching PSG games at the team's home stadium. Also, Korea's bakery Paris Baguette released its advertisement featuring Korean letters there. Luxury brands are using Hangul on their designs, and hashtags related to Korean contents on social media are increasingly being written in Korean by non-Koreans as well. The influence of Korean language is even presented in the Oxford English Dictionary, which as of 2021 has added 26 Korean words in its edition, ranging from 애교, which I would say is kind of cute actions, to 반찬, Korean side dishes, fighting, an expression of encouragement and support, to the Korean traditional attire hanbok, and of course, the Korean wave itself is inscribed as well.
Right, of course. And Hansong, have you come across any signboards or menus written in Hangul there in the US? And if so, what do you believe are the broader implications of this reality?
We can find out any hunger in the Korean town and beyond the Korean towns. It means Korean culture is expanding in the United States. There are so many minorities in the United States where the diverse ethnic groups live together. Korean culture is now time to break the eggs. I think it will become the axis of American society if it goes through this period where people who consume the Korean food tend to look for the more localized things. At first, they accept the various things and they are thinking, this is Korean food, Korean culture. But in the end, they are trying to find the most Korean things. This is because it is easy to show Korea by using sign and menu with the hunger.
Right. Hansong, what do you propose then to keep Korean dishes on global dining tables as we move forward?
So keep the authentic Korean food flavors, techniques that can be attract food enthusiasts and those seeking authentic culinary experience.
Right, I see. And so, beyond food now, I hear the broader K Entertainment has some very big plans for the year ahead. Could you tell us a bit about them?
Sure. So to answer that question, I actually looked at the budget the government has laid out for the Culture Ministry for next year. 6.95 trillion won have been allocated, a little over 5.3 billion US dollars, which is up around 3.2% from this year's budget. And a large portion is planned to be spent on culture, exports, and tourism. In terms of K-entertainment, K-contents are expected to be a major focus, especially related to the online video streaming market. In fact, some 1.74 trillion won are granted to the content industry. Korean art is also being promoted at higher levels, with billions of won to be spent in showcasing K-art overseas, including an exhibition to be opened at the 2024 Venice Biennale. And at the biggest international sports event next year, the 2024 Paris Summer Olympic Games, Korea plans to not only promote its power in sports, of course, but again, various aspects of the Korean culture. The Korea Creative Content Agency, a state-run organization that has been at the forefront of promoting Korean culture overseas, vowed to focus on exporting Korean content to the European markets, especially to France, in tandem with the Olympic Games, and of course that with the help of Hallyu. These efforts not only come on the back of a pure urge to spread the K-wave to the next level, but also are made on expectations that K-contents can grow into a key export sector amid the country and the world's continued economic downturn. Korea is also looking to put a wider sphere of cultural areas into the spotlight next year, be it in literature, musicals, or orchestras, with Korean authors and classical musicians having proven their presence on the global stage by being nominated or having won at prestigious competitions this year. There are also high expectations for K-culture to be integrated with tourism, as the Visit Korea Year 2023 to 2004, a promotional campaign by the Korea Tourism Organization aimed at promoting the recovery of the tourism industry, continues in 2024, as the name says. And to spur further tourism, visa benefits for tour groups and other measures to make Korea an attractive spot to travel are in preparation. And of course, also to revisit the country, not to make it a one-time experience.
Right, hopefully a regular experience then. And Hansong, let's end now with your recommendation for a number of Korean dishes for an ordinary person like me who is preparing an end-of-year party, for example, for my foreign friends, and I'd like the menus to be, like you mentioned earlier, authentically Korean.
Yes. So number one is the kimchi, and then second is the bulgogi, and then the last thing is the kimbap. It's the kimbap. Kimbap is popular. It's really, really hot in the United States right now.
Right. So kimchi and kimbap then, and bulgogi, was it?
Yeah, my favorite.
Right, my favorite too. What's your favorite Korean food?
I like all of them, but I just want to mention, I hope I'm invited to that party, Sunny.
You are. And Hansong, if you had been in Korea, I would invite you as well. Thank you so much, Hansong, for your time and your thoughts today. And so here in the studio, as always, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Right, well, on that note, we end this edition of Issues and Insiders. Thank you for watching. We return same time tomorrow.